So, how many people here would like to take all that negative momentum that people have and turn it around so it would be positive momentum, forcing them to join, forcing them to buy? Would that be good? If we could learn how to do that today, would that make today a great day?
Yes.
All right, so let's learn how to do it in the next minute. All right? We're pros. We can learn to do this. So we're going to learn how to turn around that giant snowball 180 degrees. So now it's going to be positive momentum, force them to join, force them to buy, looking for reasons why. And we can do that with just 2 words. Why aren't we using those 2 words now? We don't know them, right? But could we learn?
Yes.
You learn how to drive a car. You learn how to speak English. You learn how to be a parent. You learn how to play sports. Could we learn how to say a couple words? Yeah, we can learn the skills of doing this business. So, let me give you the 2 words so you can write them down. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
The first word is most. M-O-S-T. And the second word is people. Y'all have it?
Yes.
Now remember that part of the brain that makes those decisions? I want you to feel that part of the brain when I say this. Are you ready? Would you like some examples?
Yeah.
Would it be okay if I gave you the examples now?
Yes.
Okay. Most people hate their job. Oh, you don't have to write these down. Just sit back and relax. Most people want more money. Most people want younger looking skin. Most people would love an extra paycheck. Or most moms don't want to put chemicals in their children's mouth. Most parents would like to help their children's eczema naturally. Most people hate commuting to work. How are we doing?
Good.
Now, I want to do a little experiment. I'm going to ask you and follow these directions really close. We're only going to say 2 words to our partner. We're going to say most people. And I want you to feel how rejection-free it is to say most people. I want you to feel how when you say most people, you don't feel like a salesman or sound like a salesman. Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you to do this very quickly because we don't have a lot of time today. But just turn to your partner, look him directly in the eyes, and just say most people. Everybody ready? Give it a try. Most people.
Most people.
Let me ask you a question. Number 1, was that easy? Only 2 words, right? It could be most moms or most workers here. All right. Number 2, did you feel like a salesman when you say most people? No. Number 3, how many people here noticed when you said most people, your partner started nodding yes?
Yeah.
And how many people here noticed that when you said most people that your partner started smiling when they nodded yes? And how many people realize that most people have made a decision, yeah, and they don't even know what you're going to say next? I mean, most moms keep some of this product, by the kitchen. What product would that be? Yeah, something for the burns, right? Most moms want their children not to catch all the, colds and flus that go around the school. Most people know they're not going to get a raise this year. Most people want more money. Most people would love to have 2 paychecks every month. Most housewives would like to earn more money part-time than their husbands do. Most people would love to say goodbye to heartburn. So easy, isn't it? So you have a choice. You can learn the skills of getting people to start nodding yes uncontrollably and smiling at you so you can give them a presentation. Or you can choose not to learn the skills so people do this every time you come. So what do you think most people want to do? Learn how to say most people, right? So can you think of a most people statement that you can say? Right? Most families want a larger home for their children. Or most people would like to have a holiday to Disney World. Or most people would like to leave New York City 1 week during the winter just to see what the sun looks like. Or most people would like to go home to visit their relatives once a year. Most people would like to afford to go home to see their relatives once a year. Would it be okay if I gave you some most people statements you could use for your business? Yes. All right. Most people start with these products. Most people want to start with a home party. And when you say most people, here's what most people do. They say, yeah, that's me, let's go for it. Because they want to be part of most people. Let me show you what we're going to do next. Would you like another 2 words? All right. I'm going to ask you to take a little piece of paper and only write a certain thing on it. At the very top, write, would it be okay if? Could you do that? Yes. All by itself on a piece of paper. Just would it be okay if. After would it be okay if, write most people. Underneath most people, write this. When you say most people, I'll tell you what happens in the brain. Remember the P? When you say most people, the P says, that's a lot. Bing. All right, we don't care what the P thinks, do we? What do we care about? The subconscious mind? When you say most people, the subconscious mind, which is as dumb as a rock, remember? Idiot. Says most people. Am I part of most people, or am I part of less people? Well, I guess I'm part of most people because most people are part of most people. So I'm a most people type person. But I don't want to be part of less people. No, not less people, because they get eaten by the tigers. And I don't want to be eaten by the tigers. So I'm a most people type person. I do what most people do. I do what most people get excited about. I'm a most people type person. Yeah. And that goes through their mind in a microsecond. So just remember, when you say most people, it's automatic. Underneath most people, write this. Everybody knows. And if you're smiling, then you know what everybody knows, right? Because when you say everybody knows, the idiot part of the mind, the subconscious, the part that makes the decision says, if everybody knows it, am I part of everybody? Am I part of nobody? Well, nobody's part of nobody. I guess I'm part of everybody. And if everybody knows it, that means I know it. And if I know it, it must be true, because what I know is true. So everybody knows you won't get rich working a job, right? You don't have to write these down, but just think about it. Everybody knows we don't want to put chemicals in our children's mouth. Everybody knows smart people make their skin get younger while they sleep. Everybody knows we like to live longer and healthier. Everybody knows we don't have time to exercise and diet. Everybody knows 2 paychecks are better than 1. So when you say everybody knows, do they want to be part of everybody? Yes. Yeah. And they're going to believe what you say next because you said everybody knows. Underneath everybody knows, write this. Everybody says. So if you're laughing, you understand already. Am I part of everybody? Am I part of nobody? Well, of course I'm part of everybody. If everybody says it, that means I say it. And if I say it, it must be true, because I'm not a liar. So everybody says we're not going to get raises this year. Everybody says heartburn doesn't need a bunch of harmful drugs. Everybody says we're underpaid. Everybody says a job interferes with our week. Now, I'm going to show you something. We have 4 little statements. Is that true? I'm going to show you something, and this is where we're going to learn to go as a professional. How many people here want to be a professional networker? All right? I'm going to encourage you to do everything you can to learn the skills, but I'm going to show you what professional networkers do, what other networkers don't. Are you ready? Here's an opportunity meeting by me, a motivated distributor but no skills. Thank you for coming tonight. We're a ground floor opportunity with a 25-year-old company, and we are in many, many countries, and we're really famous, and we have a lot of sales, and our company founder is really good, and we're the wonderful company from the wonderful city of wonderful Arizona, started by Mr. Wonderful, who's a wonderful family man, and everything's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And what are all the guests thinking? Yeah, when's he going to finish? Where's the back door? That's ugly, isn't it? What if you started your meeting like this? Thank you for coming tonight. I'll do these backwards just to show you that there's no right or wrong way. Everybody says we're in a recession, and everybody knows we're not going to get a raise this year. So most people want more money. So would it be okay if I showed you how to get an extra paycheck this evening? Your prospect is leaning so far forward they have carpet lint on their nose. They're thinking, yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm joining. Please don't talk me out of it. And all I did was just these 4 little statements, right? I start at the bottom. Everybody knows the economy's in trouble, and everybody says we're not going to be getting a raise, and most people could use a lot more money. So would it be okay if I showed you how to get some more money this evening? Could you see the difference? And this is why some people make big money in seconds, and other people work hard their entire life saying stupid things like, would you be interested in... Remember those?
Yeah.
Bad news, right? So all I did was just use these things. So let's just imagine that, let's pick an imaginary product like, oh, I don't know, toothpaste. All right? So I might say, would it be okay if we never had to put chemicals inside our children's mouth again? I mean, most moms want to use natural toothpaste, and everybody says we have to be careful with our children, and everybody knows we want to keep them safe by not putting extra chemicals in their mouth. Wait a minute, is the sale already done? Yeah, they're thinking, oh yeah? Because everybody knows we don't want our face to look older than we are, and everybody says there's nothing really attractive about extra wrinkles. So most women want to keep wrinkles away as long as possible. So would it be okay if I showed you how to make your skin get younger while you sleep? How many people notice there is a different way of talking to people so they make instant and immediate decisions? Yes. All right, I'm going to ask you to do this. We need to practice these 4 little things, right? And we're going to do a little practice here just so we get better at this. So I'm going to break you up in groups of about 4 or 6 or 8 people, all right? And you're going to have a little conversation. And you can talk about anything you want. It doesn't matter. But I want you to use these 4 statements as much as you can. Would you do that? So your conversation with your group might sound like this. Somebody says, everybody knows I have a good-looking cat. And everybody says it's the most beautiful cat in Brooklyn. And the other person says, but most cat lovers are losers. So would it be okay if we talked about our products instead? And somebody says, well, everybody knows we have great products. The next person says, everybody says our toothpaste is the best. And the next person says, but most people like to hear about my cat. And it doesn't matter what you talk about. I just want you to use these 4 little things as often as possible for 2 reasons. Number 1, to make it more natural in our conversation. And number 2, to desensitize ourselves so we don't laugh out loud when we say them because we know what they do. So we need to say these things. So are you ready to practice this experiment? All right? Yeah. Everybody says this is a lot of fun to do. Everybody knows it is. I mean, most people like it. Would it be okay if we practice these words during lunch also? Yeah. Would it be okay if I go in front of you in line? Yes. Yeah. How many people think this will make an instant and immediate difference tomorrow? Yeah. So this is why some people work so hard, and people say no, they're just choosing the wrong words to start, and these words is how people make decisions. Isn't that amazing? When you leave here today, you'll be surprised. Nobody knows this. Everybody thinks they make that decision 29 and a half minutes later at the end of the presentation. That's not true. They make it instantly, don't they? Quite honestly, how many shy people do we have here today? Oh, that's good. They normally don't raise their hands. But if you're shy, it's hard to ask somebody for the order or ask if they want to join, isn't it? And we don't want to sound like these salesmen that go door to door and, real high pressure. We don't want to say, you want to pay by cash or check? Or, what's it going to take to put you into this automobile today? One of those from the used car salesman. Or, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you see yourself on motivation? Or, don't you love your family? Or any 3-year-old can see it's a good opportunity. Do you have a problem with that? Or, here's my favorite one. What part of the presentation didn't you understand so I can repeat it to you more slowly? You want to join now or next Tuesday? All these things just, we don't want to sound like that, do we? It makes us sound like a salesman. It makes us sound selfish. We're not worrying about them. Kind of ugly. So how many people here would like to change it? All right. Now, I ask people all over the world where I go, I ask them, so what's your best one-sentence close? And they go, I don't know. I said, wait a minute. How often are you going to need this? Every time. So you're telling me every time you just guess? Every time you just make something up? How professional is that? Do you think we're going to make 10 or 20 or 30,000 a month if we don't know anything? So that would be a good time to learn, wouldn't it? So I'm going to ask you all to pick a partner right now. Pick a partner. So let's see why it's been difficult for us so far. And by now we already know, right? Because we didn't know what we're doing. But we can get better quickly. So the good-looking distributor, you're going to turn to your sponsor and say, hey, sponsor, I'm really excited. I'm ready to go to work. But I have to close, so please tell me your best one-sentence close. And do it slowly so I can write it down word for word and use it every time. So you all ready? And if the sponsor starts saying, well, I just kind of think something up, or it depends on the situation, say, no. Just give me your one-sentence close so I can write it down and use it for my business. Are you ready? Turn to your brilliant sponsor and ask him to talk slowly and give him your best one-sentence close. Let's begin. Number 1, how many people had a little bit of fun? Number 2, how many people would like to have a better answer from your sponsor? Number 3, how many people wants a different partner next time? Well, this is kind of embarrassing, isn't it? But it's why we struggle and don't make money. So when would be a good time to fix it? Yeah, most people say now. Everybody knows now is the best time, right? Everybody says we learn now, we could use it over and over again. So would it be okay if I showed you how to do this?
Yes.
All right. Here's what we want our clothes to do. You don't have to write this down, but think about it. Don't you want it to be rejection-free, where nobody's going to give you any rejection or be mean? And if there's any chance of rejection, your downline won't use it because they're afraid, right? So it's going to be rejection-free. Second thing we want to do is give our prospect choices, so they don't feel like we're trying to push them into one thing. So give them some choices. Will that make them feel more relaxed? Yes. And we want to show them that we have their best interests at heart. We worry about them. They should do what's best for them. And if we do that, it will turn it into a giant hug-a-thon. They'll just feel like hugging us. And you and I are going to command their subconscious mind to make an instant and immediate decision. How cool would that be? So you'd never have to hear somebody say, I need to think it over. Would that be good?
Yes.
By the way, we're pros now. When somebody says, I need to think it over, have they made a decision?
Yes.
Yeah, what was that decision?
No.
No. Okay, we're pros. We know that now, don't we?